to RTV at realtourvision.com. My name is Chad, and today we're going to be going over how to create a project as well as touch on the different areas and features inside of a project. So to get started, you can go right up here to Projects. You can either create a new project from here, or you can click on Projects here, or you'll be able to see your list of existing projects if you have any, and you can create a new project here. Now, starting off, you can give your project a title. So we'll just say test. And if you'd like to add a description, you can. Now, in the address field, as you start typing something, it will auto-populate based on your location. So go ahead and utilize that feature as much as you can. As you continue down, you have the choice between real estate and for sale and businesses and rentals. And depending on which category you select, you'll see that the users associated with it will change. And that is because the real estate and for sale is for agent accounts, and the businesses and rentals is for owner accounts. Now to continue down, you also have the delivery type. So this top one here will require a full project credit, but you will get the virtual tour, property website, and the media delivery, whereas the media only delivery will just give you the ability to deliver your stills, whether they be panos or videos, to your client, but you will not get the additional features such as the virtual tour or property website. Now, if you're creating a project for a user that doesn't exist yet, you can go ahead and put their email here and their name in, and then upon creating it, it will generate an account for them. But let's go ahead and select the real estate and for sale. We'll just select an agent and hit create. Right off the bat, you are greeted with the media manager. This is where you are going to drop in your scenes that we call them, whether they be stills or panos or videos. And you can also add external media such as YouTube URL links or Vimeo, Matterport, things of that nature into the project. So this is where you'll be able to include those. So let's go ahead and drop in a few things. We'll just drop in some images, and you're going to see those are going to start updating. From here, you can rename them here. You can adjust your toggles. There's options up here to view or not view certain toggles and information. But as these get imported, they're automatically detected as to what type they are. And so it did detect these as stills. And once it finishes, this one will also be stills. Once that is finished, you can go ahead and leave the page as you are safe to do so. If you make any changes, such as clicking an image and rearranging it, which you can do while it's uploading, you will need to save those changes. Now going back to the project, here we are at a point where we can do numerous things to this project. Right now, when we come back, we are in the Information tab. And so you can adjust your description for the property, your status banner, you have your syndication, your location information, as well as attributes and additional information down here as well, such as attaching PDF documents that would be clickable inside of the virtual tour player. Up above, we have what we call the Easy MLS. And so if this is a property that is currently on the Realtor.com or Realtor CA website, you can go ahead and utilize this feature to pull that property information and description over. But let's go ahead and work our way down the side here. So up here you have the realtor or agent information right here. You'll have the creation date and expiration date as well as the property type. And then here are shortcuts to the virtual tour and the property website for viewing, as well as a button for the traffic report. Now you can mark it complete from here, you can delete it, or you can even add an order. And there's a lot of additional information in the help section for anything we go over, that when you go here, you can do a search for whatever you're looking for and find an article to assist you further. If we go to agent, this is the agent currently associated with the project. If you find you need to change the agent on the project, you can go ahead and select them, just hit change, and now it is switched over to them. If you need to add what we call a co-agent right here, you can go ahead and do that as well. And so what will happen is there will be a primary agent and a co-agent, and the co-agent's information will show up on the property website and the virtual tour, but that's essentially the extent of adding a co-agent. Let's continue down, and we have the tour options, which is for the virtual tour. And you will notice that there is a lot of toggles in a lot of different areas, so you will definitely want to become familiar with what they do. So essentially going through, toggling things on, hitting save, or toggling them off and hitting save, and then going back to the virtual tour and refreshing, or maybe even the property website, and just seeing how that change impacts that particular page. All of this is for the virtual tour, and you have toggles for the branded and the non-branded. As we go down, depending on, and while we're right here, if the Fusion Slim is turned off, you'll see that a different version of the virtual tour player will appear. And this is where the tour themes and backgrounds will come into play, and you can choose from different backgrounds or the home screen background or even the loader image. Under property website settings, clearly this is for the property website to adjust how that will look. There's different themes you can choose from. We have 6 here, and you can browse those right here, preview them. Right here, you'll have the ability to enable or disable the property website. This essentially just hides all the toggles down below. Preferred domain, you can choose the Realtor Vision domain, or if you have your white labeled domain set up, this is probably what you're going to be on and using most of the time. And then for the URL path, you can actually change this yourself. You can actually update this to whatever you want, but this gets created or generated based on the address in use. Now, if you change the address at a different point in time and you do not update this address, you want to make sure you come back and probably change this. Otherwise, you will have a previous address showing up in your URL for the new one that you updated. Easy way to do that also is just clicking default, and that will import the latest address information right into here, and then making sure you hit save. But just knowing that anyone who has or may have the existing URL, that link will no longer work. So that you'll need to make sure they get the new updated URL. And this is the actual URL for the listing. Continuing down, you can adjust the information that is shown on the property website for both the branded and the non-branded. And then we have the hero, which is the still or video that you'll have displayed or will be cycled through at the top of the property website. And as we continue down here, you'll see additional toggles as well that you can turn on and off. In traffic reports, this is a feature that once the project is completed, it will generate this hit report for the project. So whenever someone is viewing the property website virtual tour, or they're redirected there from another URL or site such as Facebook and such, that's a great way for your agents to be able to track that information, and you can add their email address here if it doesn't already exist, or add even additional ones, and you can choose which day those reports will get sent out to them automatically. Now, if they do not want to be emailed anymore, if they reach out to you, you can simply untoggle these, or you can completely delete their email address right out of here. Down here we have affiliates. Now, affiliates is something for yourself that you can set up in the settings section, and you can decide whether or not you want this to be displayed on the branded or the non-branded. And this is something typically that you would do for linking back to your own personal website, and it would show up down here in the corner of the page as they are previewing that. Next, you have amenities, and clearly you can choose all the available options for that property, and then those will show up in the information on the property website for that listing. Next, we have lead capture. This is where you can toggle on certain scenes so that a prompt comes up for the viewer to enter their information. If they'd like to get additional information about the property or the listing, they can do that, and you can turn it on for multiple scenes, and you can even password protect the virtual tour from here. If you do get any leads, you'll see that they may pop up here. Continuing down, There's syndication, and if you have the project syndicated, you'll be able to toggle that on here, or if you'd like to syndicate it, you can. And you'll also see there is the syndication to syndicate to project gallery and RSS here as well. It's very important to understand what this does and the impact it has on your project. So definitely go to the help section and search syndicate and get familiar with that. Now you can also add metadata. If you change any information about the listing, such as the address, you can regenerate that. You can say use project title, and you can update this information as well as adding additional keywords. You also have tracking codes if this is something you're familiar with in regards to Google Analytics and such. And then we have media display, so you can change how the media is presented, whether it's to keep the same aspect ratio or force it to another. And you have additional options here as well, such as the thumbnail sizing and scene transitions. Next up is deliverables and links, but because we have not completed this project yet, there is nothing here to populate. So this will only show until you complete the project. But let's go ahead and show you what a deliverables and links page looks like for a completed project. Now here's an example of one. Here we have the delivery site. This is what you're going to end up sending your clients so they have access to the virtual tour links, any flyers that you generate, all your stills and images and videos. They will be able to access them from that site. So let's go ahead and launch this just so you can see what that looks like. You can create a terms of service as you saw, and it goes much further into even making payments from here. But as you scroll down, this is the page they would get. They'd have access to all these different links for the branded and the non-branded. They can change themes, and these are all different toggles that you can have available to view for them or not. And as you come down, they'll be able to download their media here as well. Here we have Edge Marketing. Now, if you click this, it's going to launch the Edge Marketing Center, and this is where you'll be able to generate or create single page, double page flyers, or social media cards. You have the music editor. You can add music to this tour here, and you can decide whether or not the music will play on branded tours or non-branded tours. You can favorite songs. Hitting the plus button will add it to here, and then just being sure you hit save, or you can even upload your own media. Here we have the video creator. Once the project has been completed, then you can even compile a video version of the virtual tour. Now, moving down, you can additionally post this video to YouTube, whether it be a linked YouTube channel of your own or your clients, or maybe possibly if you don't have either connected, then you can have it sent to the primary RTV website. Below here, you'll have all these toggles that you can change. Turning them on and off will display or not display them, or to be a part of the compile process of the video. So if you wanted to have pretty much a plain Jane video, you could toggle essentially all of these off and have it generate or compile a video of just what's in the Media Manager. Now, when you do run the compile and it is finished, it'll tell you the status and it'll give you a download link right here, as well as if you post it to YouTube when that process is done, which both can take some time depending on the processing queue. Your YouTube link will appear down here. Next is Floor Plan Editor. If you upload a floor plan using this point right here, you can browse and upload it directly from your PC, or if you have Kubicasa connected, if you have a Kubicasa account, you can import it directly from your Kubicasa account. The Narration Editor allows you to add narration to different scenes in different ways, as well as being able to record your own voice or being able to add a description that will be read by whatever voice you would like from this list, and it'll be read over top and played along with the virtual tour. Here we have the scene editor, which is also accessible From inside Media Manager, simply by double-clicking on one of these, you get to the Scene Editor. Moving back down, which is the same thing. Here you'll have the ability to modify different scenes of how what we call the Ken Burns effect will be applied, with green being the starting point and red being the stopping point. So the display will start off at this point and it'll slowly move to this point before it transitions to the next scene. And so you can go through and change each one of these if you want, or you can even copy all to each one. Like, so if you changed one and you like that, you want that same motion, you could do like a copy all and apply to everything. Now you'll see Legacy Flyer Creator here, but we're not going to go over that because that is due to be what we call sunset, as well as Astro Zoom as their features that will no longer be available. This is an outdated version of essentially the Edge Marketing Center. So the Edge Marketing Center is taking this place. Astro Zoom was a feature that Google no longer supports, so we will be removing that from the list. Virtual staging. So if you have, for an example, a room that you just need to add virtually staged furniture into, you can use this feature to submit that image or images to do so. And there is a lot of different options to choose from inside of here. And you can also access the same service right up here for virtual staging orders. And there's custom domains. If you'd like to order a domain and have it specifically display a certain URL when they visit the property website and you want to send this URL instead, you can go ahead and create one here, look it up, and place an order for that one. And then finally, you have the Publish to Google, which is a moderation service that we offer. But that is essentially touching on all the different aspects of creating a project. To go beyond further, we will dive into those in further videos. Thank you very much.